Hello, welcome back to my channel and to today's video. Today I've got a video that for some of you might be quite boring, for other people like me, interesting, because it's about dehumidifiers, and I see so much content about dehumidifiers on TikTok, and it seems to be mainly because a lot of people like me live in an older property that suffers with some level of humidity issues with damp. So in my case, this building is a 1930s building, and it has cavity walls that are uninsulated. And even though we've got brand new double glazing, we have really bad issues with condensation. Now that is because for us, we don't have the heating on all the time. We do have it on for a couple of hours a day, but we can't really afford to put it on any more than that at the moment because we are students. And so, we keep the flat at as warm as we can, but we rely more on layering up, we've both got electric blankets in our beds, thick duvets, Udis, you name it. But yeah, we have the heating on for a couple of hours a day, and our gas bill is about £60 to £70 a month. That is just for gas, not for electric. So yes, until we are both working full time, we're going to have these issues where, because the flat is not always particularly warm, our warm breath condensates, and when you're drying washing, all of that, and it can cause a bit of damp. The thing is that this room, my bedroom, is on the very corner of the building. I've actually got 3 external walls in this room, which makes my room the coldest room in the flat. So my room, it's the only real room that we actually have problems with. Previously, my walls were actually wet to the touch with condensation. I've had to bin a bedside table because it was pine and it was thick with black and white mold all over it, which was really unhealthy to be in a room with that. And I was worried that my other furniture was going to go mouldy and that my clothes were going to go mouldy. And so we spoke to my landlord about it, and he brought us around a dehumidifier, which is very kind of him. However, there are 2 types of dehumidifier. There is a refrigerant dehumidifier, which all I know is it works the same way as a fridge works, in that it has a cold plate that the warm air condensates on, and then the water droplets form, and obviously it removes the water from the air that way. That's fine, but it relies on the air being warm, and that is the issue that we have, is that this flat very rarely gets above 15 degrees, which is the minimum temperature that that kind of dehumidifier needs to work. And the one that the landlord brought round was a refrigerant dehumidifier, whereas the other type of dehumidifier is a Dessicant dehumidifier. So let me show you. You may be familiar with these things. Now, these are full of, I think it's like silica beads, like you get in a pair of shoes. And these just draw water out of the air naturally, no matter what temperature it is. And the Dessicant dehumidifier works in the same way, in that it has that inside it, but it recycles them, it dries them out so that they can extract more water from the air. And effectively, the point is that it works all the way down until you hit minus figures, which obviously we're not letting the flat get that cold. So all that to say, I purchased from Amazon a Dessicant dehumidifier. Now, this box is very lightweight. I've already opened it. I've already been using it. I wanted to use it before I showed you guys it, so I could tell before I decided whether to recommend it or not. But this is the ProBreeze 10-litre Dessicant dehumidifier. Now, don't be mistaken. I at first thought that it had a 10-litre water tank, but it doesn't. What it means is that it can extract up to 10 litres a day. Like, the water tank is 3 litres. And it's great. It's got a 12-hour built-in timer if you want to set it to a timer. But the reason I like it is that it has the automatic humidity sensor. So what that means is you can set the desired humidity of the room. As far as I'm aware, around 50 to 60% is decent. Like that will do. Anything over 70 is classed as damp. So you can set the humidity sensor to what percentage of humidity you want in the room, and when it gets to that, it will cut out a bit like a thermostat for your heating system. When it senses that it's getting more humid again, it will turn itself back on. So that's what I do. I just have it running throughout the day. I have mine set to 60% because I'm also aware that it uses a decent amount of energy. So 60% will do me just fine. It's keeping my room dry. I'm really happy with that. I've been using this for a few weeks now. And it also comes, if you have the ability, it comes with a continuous drainage hose. So if you're somewhere near a drain for it to drain into, fantastic. I am not. But to be honest, I only have to empty a tank sort of once a day. Depends how damp your space is. If you have rising damp, it will be damper than condensation. It's a lot more moisture. And it also has an air filter in it, which is great if you have allergies. So, like I say, this came from Amazon. There is the model. I will link it in the description box down below. And it is an affiliate link, which does mean that I get a couple of % commission if you choose to buy one. But it's no more expensive for you to buy it than if you bought it from a normal link. And I'm not expecting you to buy it. I'm just making you aware. But I got it off Amazon. It was £169 when I bought it. Obviously, the prices on Amazon can fluctuate, so I don't know what it is right now. But what I will say is I am really happy with it. It's doing exactly what I need it to do, and I will quickly show you it and explain how it all works, show you how it works. I bought, let me show you, a little thermostat and humidity hydrometer. I think it's called, like humidity sensor. This is a £5 off Amazon. So you can see at the moment my bedroom is 13.1 degrees and it is currently at 79% humidity. So I've purposely not turned my dehumidifier on yet so that you can see that it is getting very humid in here, which will lead to damp over time. So that is what my room is set at currently. So this is the dehumidifier, and it's about knee height, so it's about 60 centimeters tall. And at the bottom here, you have the tank, which just pulls out and you can empty it. I just empty it into the bath because it's the easiest. And then on the top here, you can see you have the power button. Then this is your setting for your desired humidity level. So the top row is what humidity it is at, and the bottom row is your desired humidity. So it only goes from 40 to 60% because you don't want it to be at 70 or higher. And then you have mode. I leave mine in auto, but if you want it on overnight, you can put it into low, or if you want it to do the job quicker, you can leave it in high. And finally, you have a timer, which I don't really tend to use. I just leave it on throughout the day, and I turn it off when I go to sleep, and just let it tick over and come on when it needs to. So if I switch it on, you'll see here that currently it's reading at 80% humidity, and I've set my desired humidity to 60%. Ignore that bit of fluff, and it's on auto. So the setting it's on now, that is the higher setting, so it is a little bit louder, which is why I don't have it on when I go to sleep, because I want to sleep in peace. But yes, that will just stay on now for the rest of the day, and I'll come back a bit later and show you how much water it's collected and what humidity it's got itself down to. So it's a few hours later, and the dehumidifier is almost full. So if we look here, you can see the water line. If I tip it around, you can see it moving. So that's how much it's filled up. So it's still on the same setting. Try and get it to around 50%. It's sat at around 60 at the moment. Still on auto. And then we come over to my little hydrometer, and yeah, it's at about 57%. So it's in a nice, comfortable zone at the moment. So yeah, it really does work. Even in temperatures below 15 degrees, which is exactly what I need, because quite often this room does drop below that. And it has really helped stop the damp, to be honest. Get rid of the condensation. The walls are no longer wet. My stuff is not going mouldy, thankfully, and doesn't smell fusty, which is a huge positive. Obviously, that's the whole reason why I bought it in the first place, and it's doing its job. As I said, I got it from Amazon. I will leave a link below in the description box. I am part of the Amazon affiliate program, so it is an affiliate link, which means that if you do buy one, I get a couple of % commission on that sale. But I'm not being paid to make this video, and I do recommend it. I just like showing you what I've bought if I think it's worthwhile. If you're having a similar issue yourself, I know it's an issue for so many people in older properties, with damp and condensation, particularly people who have single glazed windows or in basements. I've spoken to so many people at uni in their housing, they have the exact same issues. So yeah, hopefully this is helpful to someone. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon in my next video.